Louisiana. Harris County, the big county in Houston Metro, multiple counties. The largest is Harris County. There's a larger population in Harris County in Houston than the state of Louisiana. Every town, every parish, every city in Louisiana, Metro Dallas, about 3 million more folks than Louisiana. The Metro Dallas-Fort Worth area. And Houston's Harris County, more people live there than the population of the entire state of Louisiana. It's mind-boggling, it's mind-blowing, but things are about to change, right? I mean, it isn't just about talking with friends at the bar or the restaurant like you're talking sports and LSU or Saints. It's great when they win. It's not great when they lose, but it's not really life-threatening or life-enhancing in some kind of major way like education, economics, money in the pocket, infrastructure, lower crime, that type of stuff. I mean, unless it's just all talk and no walk, Louisiana must be on the brink of just explosive growth, right? Just obvious righting the ship. Obvious the train's now on the right tracks. There should be companies investing in Louisiana over the next few years. Young folks graduating from college flocking to Louisiana. Republicans are in full control. And not just mainstream conservative Republicans, but the hardcore right, like some would say the wacky right, evangelical right. You have Jeff Landry coming in as governor. It's hard to go much more right than Jeff Landry. I mean, I think like Attila the Hun is left of Jeff Landry. Louisiana now has the 2 highest ranking members in Congress in Washington, D.C. Representative Mike Johnson is officially the Speaker of the House, not just nominated by Republicans, voted in 220 votes. Mike Johnson of North Louisiana, the Speaker of the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. Steve Scalise, Majority Leader, the number 1 and number 2 most powerful Republicans in the country right now. Louisiana's got him. Jeff Landry coming in as governor. The House and Senate in Baton Rouge, 105 House reps, 39 senators. Clear Republican majority. Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth, right? Republicans are in full control. Or is all of this political stuff that folks cling to, Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, black, white, folks that cling to this stuff, all I can say is Republicans, everything is yours in Louisiana. Well, outside of loony left New Orleans, which doesn't have a single conservative voice anywhere in government. I can't think of a single conservative anywhere in New Orleans government. That's another day, another show. Well, we can talk about it now. I'm not running from that topic. But the main topic is, I'm assuming from talking to my hardcore Republican friends that are always sending me stuff, always communicating with me, Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth. Car manufacturing plants. You know, jobs we want, not just stuff that comes here automatically because we're on the Mississippi River. Chemical, oil and gas, cancer producers. We'll get that all the time. We get that by default. I'm talking about where you're competing against other states and winning. I hear all these Republicans talking about how Texas is and how Florida is and Georgia. All I can say is Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth, just that we will see noticeable, because the Speaker of the House is Mike Johnson. The majority leader is Steve Scalise, the two most powerful Republicans in America right now. Jeff Landry will be governor in January. Already transition team taking place. John Bel Edwards not getting in the way of anything. Why is there still skepticism? Why is there still a lot of doubt? Why are a lot of Republicans in Louisiana glad their people won, but aren't optimistic for change in Louisiana? Why is that the case? Am I reading this wrong? Rouse's Markets phone lines 504 766 9480. 766 9480. All my hardcore Republican friends, everything you've wanted, you've got it. Governor, Senate, House, Louisiana wrapped up, all Republican. And now Representative Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. They got it right fourth time around. Steve Scalise remains majority leader. Two most powerful ranking members in Congress, some of the most powerful Republicans, if not 1 and 2 in America. 766 9480. Will Louisiana noticeably change? Will we quickly become more like Texas and Georgia and Florida as far as growth and economy and young people moving here and car plants and manufacturers, winning Fortune 500 companies, landing, hundreds of jobs, thousands of jobs at one pop, just like Texas, Florida, and Georgia do? Rouse's Markets phone lines 766 9480. 766 9480. Hey, friend and company fine jewelers, guys. Holiday season's coming up. It's just a few weeks away. We're in late October. November and Thanksgiving's going to fly by. And then soon you'll be in December and it's holiday season. Real diamonds, natural diamonds. That's what you get at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Real natural diamonds. The other jewelry stores in town that happen to have real natural diamonds, like Friend and Company Fine Jewelers always has, they're using that line that I bring up because there are so many diamond jewelry stores that use the 3-week-old man-made lab-created diamonds as their showpiece. 3-week-old. 3 weeks. Lab-created, man-made diamonds. You can have them. For my girl, for your girl, it should be the real thing. Real natural diamonds, 1 billion years old. Go see Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carlton. Go see Ken Friend. Diamond stud earrings, diamond tennis bracelets, diamond necklaces, even diamond engagement rings. From $1,000 to thousands, tens of thousands. They have items for over $100,000 at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. And Ken Friend has an entire room dedicated. Real diamonds, natural diamonds, everything in it under $1,000. Something for everybody. Real natural diamonds. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carrollton. Go see Ken Friend. You do have a friend in the jewelry business. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street. Wide open Wednesday. Corey Johnson with you. Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. Steve Scalise, Majority Leader. Jeff Landry, Governor. House, Senate in Baton Rouge under Republican full control. Everything the Republican wants, it will be just green lighted in. Why is there still skepticism, lack of hope and optimism, even amongst Republicans in Louisiana? 766 9480. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, the tolls on the Causeway go up next week. Carlton Dufrechou joins us next.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread, good to the last crumb. Their signature loaf, that crisp crust, delicate center. They've been doing it since 1896. New Orleans French bread, Leidenheimer French bread. For over 125 years, Leidenheimer Baking Company. Corey Johnson with you, Wide Open Wednesday. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Louisiana has now The two highest ranking members in Congress, Representative Mike Johnson, officially Speaker of the House, voted in 220 votes. Steve Scalise remains majority leader. I went to the Bayou Phoenix announcement, the lease signing at the convention center earlier. I'll fill you in on that. Wow. 8 dead, 63 injured, 168 vehicles involved. Just shocking. The I-55 accidents, 3 different collision sites. From Rudock to Ponchatoula, both spans still shut down. That fog on these types of bridges can be dangerous. The Causeway was shut down that very morning. Carlton Dufrechou, president of the Causeway, joins us on the program. How are you, Carlton?
I'm good, Corey. Today's a much better day than Monday.
Yep.
And I'm glad to hear we got a Speaker of the House.
Yeah. Moving forward on a bunch of different fronts.
Goodness, we need it. Yeah.
Boy,
but I hope you're well.
But what you do and that I-55 crash, that hits home, obviously.
It was Monday was a memorable day, not a day any of us want, but I think early on we all knew it was going to be a rough one, and I think the message for all of us in this is that life is precious, man, and no matter how rushed we are to get to our next appointment, to school, to work, whatever the heck is going on, every time we get in an automobile, that's it can be a weapon. It is not. It's a great utensil for getting us around, but it can hurt us too, and particularly in inclement weather like we had Monday. It's the prudent thing is to just kind of slow down, take a time, and tell everybody that's waiting for us that, yeah, I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm going to get there. But I'm going to get there alive.
Hey, Carlton, on the golf course, for instance, if inclement weather rolls in like lightning, a Doppler, if the golf course has the system, and most of them appear to have it, the Doppler radar, if there's thunder or lightning, it's coming in that direction. It's close enough to the golf court. It is a danger. That horn goes off automatically. The golf pro doesn't decide or not. There really isn't like a fog warning system like that. You guys, human beings at the Causeway, what's the process? How do you guys decide if you're A, shutting down the Causeway fully, or B, having a rolling convoy following a Causeway cop doing 35 or 40 the whole way across, or C, leaving it open fully when there's fog? How do you guys figure that out? How do you decide that?
It starts, Corey, with any of the officers or motorist assistance patrol folks on the bridge, even the bascule operators that are out there around the clock, or the dispatchers and camera operators that are watching. When they see the first wisp of fog coming in, they will announce it, and the ranking officer will usually request a fog log, what we call a fog log then. And that is simply the dispatchers will poll all of the officers, the motorist assistants, and maintenance, anybody else on the bridge, just ask them where you are. But actually, the standard procedure is they just start reporting in their location in the visibility. And depending on how fast something's happening, we'll do that every 30 minutes, sometimes every 15 minutes, sometimes even a little bit more frequently if it's really a quick system. And that gives the ranking officer an idea of what the conditions are on the entire bridge. And you've driven the bridge, Lord, for your entire life. It's 24 miles long. It could be that we got a tremendous thunderstorm out in the middle and it's crystal clear on either end. And the same thing with fog. And for that matter, Monday we had, it started off foggy on the entire length of the bridge. It ended up that the majority of it was on the south end and crystal clear for the northern, three-quarters or so. But that's what kind of makes us unique. And actually, I think it makes us unique in the country, potentially in the world, for particularly for fog operations. And for us, the fog season is actually just started. It's usually October 15th through income tax day, around April 15th. And as we all know from Monday, which compounded the problem, was unfortunately the Pete marsh fire in eastern New Orleans. And that, with this little temperature inversion and a bit of fog we had, it was, and I've been here 14 years now. I've never seen anything this dense. I'm just looking out of my office now, back at the flock, the herd going back north, and we could not see the first traffic light. The highway light behind us, and that's about the window from here, about 150 feet. We had reports, and this was actually later in the morning, from some of our guys that we had visibilities down to about 10 feet. They could barely see the front end of their vehicles. And it's, again, when you talk about the magnitude of the event, will gear us up to, maybe the first thing we'll do is just warn the motorists, fog's on the bridge, ask folks to slow down a little bit, and then it'll get ratcheted up. It goes progressively to we'll do convoys. Particularly, we like to do those during the rush hours in the mornings and the evenings, because you can get a bunch of people on the bridge at the same time, and there'll be a lead unit going out in front of them, then get a couple hundred cars in that, then start another one. And each lead unit is continually broadcasting back to dispatch their locations. So again, everybody knows where everybody else is, knows how the convoys are moving. And if it gets, for visibility goes down further, we'll do a single lane operation, which we ended up doing on Monday. Which it's almost a crawl across the bridge, because we'll have a continual line of vehicles, but you want it for two reasons. First of all, slowing folks down is always, the slower you go, the less chance of doing injuries or a catastrophic crash. And the other is, while we do have the shoulders out there now and always have the crossovers, if something does go wrong, if someone stops suddenly, that adjacent lane is kind of a bailout area that somebody motorists can go into instead of piling into the vehicle behind them, which we actually had used several times on Monday. And then the worst case for us would be if we have to close a bridge, which does happen sometimes for fog. We try to do that we try to close a bridge as infrequently as possible. Our goal is to get everybody back and forth safely and timely every day, all the time. And that, we've done the closures too for some significant weather events, whether it's these big, fast-moving thunderstorms coming through, or anything other that's a tremendous event. But in our position, I'm blessed to have a magnificent staff, and they'll deal with the push, pull, or pull when we got a broken down vehicle or something out there, or a crash. It applies to, with the same attitude applies to any times we're doing convoys or any kind of adverse weather operation.
No, I mean, I
great folks.
I think the Causeway might be the most highly patrolled bridge or roadway in the world. I mean, seriously, a lot of the time I just think it's like, why do you have this police force and all that? And then when it's kind of like flood protection. When there is fog, you guys can jump out there. And it's obviously men or women on the bridge. What they see, different points, is going to beat any kind of a system. Hey, real quick, Carl, we only got a couple of minutes left.
Yes, sir.
Is there any system you know of that's used on rivers for boats, or anything for vehicles, ideally in cars, where fog kicks in?
I've seen a bunch of folks in the past decade that are trying to market fog stuff, electronic stuff.
There's got to be something out of Japan or Germany that they use that's legit.
Started in Europe. Actually, there's a lot used in aviation to give, it's called runway visual range. The ranges of the visual.
I don't know if you guys necessarily need it, because you have the peeps on foot, boots on the ground, but I-55, I-310, I-10 from, the east to Slidell or La Place to Kenner, they probably could use that type of system.
Corey, there's a lot of applications in aviation that could be used on interstate systems to do just that.
Yep.
It could be incorporated into the AM traffic radio network that's almost around the country now.
I would have been remiss to not bring all that up with the I-55 situation, but we got like 30 seconds, Carlton. Tolls go up next week.
Yes, sir. The cash toll will go up $1. The tag toll will go up. Cash toll is going from 5 to 6. The tag toll is going from $3 to $3.40. If you use a bridge at all, please call us and let us give you a toll tag. It cuts the thing almost in half, and it gets you through the toll plaza much quicker too. It's much more efficient.
No, and it's weird. I think two things. People think either you have to live on the North Shore to get a toll tag.
Heck no.
And or they know that's not true, yet they're like, yeah, but I don't live on the North Shore, so I'm not getting a toll tag. I kind of had that wall, and I finally broke through about 6 months ago, and I have a toll tag on my car. It's much better.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Look, it's always good talking to you. Keep doing all the good stuff you're doing for the region, and God bless you.
Hey, it's what, Thursday of next week the tolls go up?
Yeah, November 2nd.
Next
3 o'clock in the morning.
Next Thursday. Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Carlton,
Thanks very much, Corey.
Thanks so much. That's
See ya.
Carlton Dufrechou from $5 to $6 cash, and toll tag folks like me from $3 to $3.40. Corey Johnson with you. Wide Open Wednesday.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carlton section of Uptown on the streetcar line. Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Louisiana now has the two highest ranking members in Congress. Representative Mike Johnson of North Louisiana, officially Speaker of the House of Representatives. Steve Scalise remains Majority Leader. Jeff Landry coming in as governor. Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth. Republicans in full control. The hardcore right at that. Talking the talk all the time. Now you get to walk the walk. Should be some Texas, Florida, Georgia-like economic results, right? Right? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. If you just missed it, Carlton Dufrechou joined us, president of the Causeway. The tolls go up for the Causeway starting next Thursday. Cash tolls go from $5 to $6. Toll tag goes from $3 to $3.40. I don't live on the North Shore, but I got a toll tag. You should get one too. It's just easier to get through the toll plaza. Don't have to worry about if you have cash or not. If you have a 20 or a 10, you don't have to worry about getting that change. That change I get, I just throw it like right on the floor of my car. I'm like, that's tip money. I don't want to touch all those ones, the 15 ones I got back from my 20. No, I got a toll tag. You should do the same. Hey, speaking of the North Shore in Mandeville, Trey Yen in Mandeville for dinner tonight. You bet. It's not Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. Critically acclaimed, nationally recognized. Trey Yen served at the White House. The Wong brothers, gourmet chefs. They know what they're doing when it comes to Chinese cuisine, and they love the seafood in South Louisiana. Trey Yen, one of the best seafood restaurants in Metro New Orleans. Tonight for dinner, Trey Yen in Mandeville. So good. Hey, speaking of food, Damian Michaels joins us from Relevant Studios here in New Orleans. Damian, how are you, man?
Good, Corey. How are you? Hey, can you pay for your Causeway toll with Trey Yen takeout? Just curious.
I have given the toll lady a fortune cookie before, and I'm not kidding you, and she accepted it. I'm not kidding. I was like, I was just at Trey Yen. Here you go. She laughed. Oh boy. Hey, you were up at an interesting place. John Currents, a New Orleans chef, has City Grocery and a bunch of other places up in Oxford, Mississippi, the home of Ole Miss, the Ox Patch. You just attended the Southern Foodways Alliance. Southern cuisine is a cultural phenomenon, and it seems to be taking off beyond the region and even the country. Southern cuisine, right?
Yeah, it really is. It's one of the few remaining American cuisines that traverses the world without a lot of change or adulteration. If you look at the East Coast and West Coast, these are a lot of fusion foods, and some more, and also more immigrant-based foods, which you can get great Italian, great Chinese, et cetera, because localized communities start restaurants to service, their local communities. So you can get some real authentic fare. But, the West Coast tends to do a lot of kind of weird fusion foods that nobody ever thought about putting together.
Yep.
So Southern cuisine is one of those things that's partly the original fusion for food. And instead of, cultural appropriation, it really is a bringing together of multiple different kind of cultural backgrounds and influencing dishes. And the simpler, the better. And so you just have this amazing Southern food experience that's kind of exploding around the world. And we tend to export a bunch of things. And there's a lot of commonalities between, the South here in southern European states or southern aspects of other continents. It's really kind of interesting how there's just a real phenomenon in Southern cuisine.
What can the South teach the rest of the country, the rest of the world about food in general? What do we do that's maybe unique or different to enhance food that maybe other places don't do?
Well, that's a fantastic question. Southern cuisine is really about celebrating the farm to table experience, which has really kind of become this catchword for fancy restaurants locked in urban centers. But farm to table really, when I grew up, I had an uncle in Kentucky where he'd ask you what you want for dinner while sitting in the front porch, and as you answered, he'd point to different parts of the farm where you had to go pick that stuff. And so Southern cuisine is really about celebrating non-processed, hyper-processed, or foods that are laden with emulsifiers, artificial flavors, etc. So Southern cuisine is really about taking these amazing things that recently came out of the ground, adding some love, some spices, and it's really about slow food movement where it's not processed, pop in the microwave, God knows what else you're doing. My wife on occasion will throw something in and she said, "How was it?" And I was like, I should have just had a glass of Windex. I mean, this is a lot of chemicals here that tries to taste like something. And so that really what Southern cuisine is this wonderful slow food experience, the preparation, the love, the conversation, all these things that kind of go into this. And then again, it's a celebration of the multicultural environments that, or traditions that have gone into these dishes. If you look at New Orleans, it's this wonderful blend of Caribbean, Creole, Spanish, French, African continent. It's this wonderful kind of rich mixture of all these foods that when you put a fresh vegetable or, anything fresh from the farm through this process, you end up with this wonderful meal experience, which, like I said before, brings people together, not just in the cooking process, but in the dining experience.
You mentioned like seasoning and spice and that type of thing. Is that a little more prevalent in Southern cuisine than especially the rest of this country or the rest of the world, or not really?
Yeah, it is, because, if you take a look at certain cultures that their foods are originated from what other people would consider to be lower quality foods, they tend to enhance those foods with spices and all kinds of cooking treatments that, bridge the gap on the flavor profile side. So spice is incredibly important in Louisiana for whatever reason. Well, I know the reasons. It's all the influence we had. Spice is an incredibly important aspect of everything that we do. The spicier, the better. And what normally is found in regions that are very hot, spicy foods are the norm because, believe it or not, they actually cool the body off. So this is the reason why you see a lot of Southern cultures have very spicy dishes, because it actually physiologically, internally cools the core.
See, that had to just be an unconscious human thing that they kept grabbing to Mexico, the South. We like stuff spicy and hot. It had to just be, we felt relief from that and not the opposite and continue to do it. Had to be before anyone said it's proven.
Right.
That's pretty interesting. Damian Michaels is with us from Relevant Studios. Yeah, I'll never forget the movie Parenthood, Damian. There's this one scene and the lady's talking, the short redhead lady, and she's complaining about her kids or something to her friend. And while she's doing it, she's preparing dinner. And she just grabs the steak and it's in the styrofoam thing like you buy from the, the little butcher case at the store. She peels the plastic off. She spears it with a fork and puts it on the broiler tray and just sticks it in the oven. And I remember watching that, and I'm thinking to myself, did the movie director, producer just not care about details where they season that steak or not? I'm like, no, this is the Midwest. They probably don't season that steak when they cook it. They pull it out, and if it needs a little salt or pepper, they might add it after the fact. We're draping that thing in seasoning before we throw it on the grill or the broiler.
Yeah, if you ask Italians when they go to cook pasta, don't you just fill a pot and put it on the burner? They'll look at you like you're insane. You have to season it with water. You have to season the water with salt and with olive oil because the salt will negate any kind of metallic taste that the water might have. And then the olive oil is for when you put pasta in to help keep the pasta from sticking together. So seasoning for everything.
Yeah.
But we tend to take it to another level, and it's glorious.
Yep. Hey, I wanted to mention to folks, the Louisiana Cafe is fantastic in the bottom of the Riley building right there. What is that, Girardin Magazine?
Yes.
Breakfast and lunch. What is it? Only Monday and Tuesday, the only days you guys are closed? Open Wednesday through Sunday?
Yeah, it's open Wednesday through Sunday, 7 to 3, and probably the one of the best times to come and enjoy it is on Sunday mornings, right before a
Saints
hometown Saints game, where you can pregame and walk down Girard.
Yeah, or if it's an away game, watch the Saints game right there. Now, I went in with my brother. I got a po' boy. He got eggs, bacon, hash browns. He got breakfast. I got lunch. Fantastic. Hey, Damian, thanks so much.
Yep. Have a great day.
You too. That's Damian Michaels, Relevant Studios here in New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you. A wide open Wednesday.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Met a friend over at Lebanon's Cafe today for lunch. Lebanon's Cafe, authentic Middle Eastern food, right by the streetcar barn. Carlton at Jeanette. Carlton Avenue, where it's one lane each way, in between Claiborne and the River Bend. Outdoor dining under the green awning, under the oak trees on the streetcar line. Tough to beat Lebanon's Cafe. Shish kebab, lamb chops, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. Tough to beat Lebanon's Cafe. Open till 9:30. Go check them out for dinner. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. It's wide open. Whatever you'd like to discuss. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. 766-9480. I've got a couple of holdover $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates. Holdover trivia questions. I'm going to answer those in the 5 o'clock power hour if you don't answer them first. If you got the answer to either one of these questions, I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Hey, remember, no intranet device, no search engines. You either know the answer or you don't. I don't want to hear the wiki page. There's no Yahoo, Google, DuckDuckGo, Bing, none of those searches. You either know the answer or you don't. New Orleans' tallest building. We got an answer. One Shell Square, Hancock Whitney. That is correct. The New Orleans building with the most floors, the most stories. Maybe the answer to the tallest building, same answer to this. The New Orleans skyscraper with the most floors, the most stories. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Drive Shack, now 504 Golf, the driving range on the Pontchartrain Expressway at the old Times Picayune building. It'll be a multi-level driving range. Top Golf, they're building a multi-level driving range down by the river, by the Mississippi River Bridge, the River District neighborhood. That development. Top Golf already in Baton Rouge, right on I-10. Top Golf under construction in Lafayette, Cajun country, multi-level driving range. One of these is going to open first, either the 504 Golf or Top Golf. Both are coming. One will open their doors first. Whichever one opens their doors first, will that be the first multi-level New Orleans driving range? 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. You got answers? I got 50 big bucks, $50. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. I'm guessing Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth. Finally, all of our problems are solved, right? Republicans have been talking this for a long, long time, especially these types of Republicans, kind of hardcore extreme, almost wacky right, evangelical types. Louisiana now has the 2 highest ranking members in Congress in D.C. North Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson is the new Speaker of the House. 220 votes. He is Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson from North Louisiana. The majority leader remains Steve Scalise. In January, it'll be official. Louisiana will have a new Republican governor for 4 years, Jeff Landry. Mike Johnson's more hardcore right than Steve Scalise. And Steve Scalise is not a mainstream Republican conservative. He's not. He's not Kasich. He's not Liz Cheney. He's not Sununu. He's not that type of Republican. He's a little more hardcore. He doesn't believe in the other side, doesn't believe in working with the other side. Mike Johnson's even more hardcore than Scalise, even more hardcore. The hardcore Republicans, like the Crazy Eight and those types, they think Scalise is sort of soft. Most Republicans would say Steve Scalise is on the far right of the Republican Party, not the middle, not in the least bit. He's not a moderate. So you've got hyper extreme Mike Johnson, like the governor, Jeff Landry, hyper extreme. And then you got Steve Scalise, I would say, pretty damn extreme. Steve Scalise is a nice guy. I don't think he's corrupt or crooked. But history will look back at Steve Scalise and be like, he was one of those dividers during that era. Stuck to his party, refused to acknowledge the other party, refused to work with the other party, thought the other party was evil, they're the enemy, that type of mentality. I'm not into that with Republicans or Democrats sizing up and having that opinion about the other side. No, there's no way Steve Scalise can avoid that. And Steve Scalise has never, ever passed any legislation, not one single bill in all the years in D.C., not one bill that Steve Scalise authored has become law, not one piece of legislation. Mike Johnson's much more extreme right than Steve Scalise, very much like Jeff Landry. So you hardcore Republicans in Louisiana, you've got everything you dreamed of. You got the governor, you got the House of Representatives under control in Baton Rouge, you have the Senate under your control. You have in D.C., you have the most powerful Republicans in elected office. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, Steve Scalise, Majority Leader. I would imagine Louisiana is on the brink of prosperity. How could it be any other thing? The way Republicans talk and have spoken about things like this for years, for decades. Yet why in Louisiana, even with Republicans, there's a lack of hope, there's skepticism, there isn't this optimism that Corey's right. We have full control. We're on the brink of explosive growth. We're about to mirror Texas, Florida, Georgia's economy and incoming college graduates moving to our area, right? But why isn't that the optimism, the hope? Why isn't that the thinking of Republicans in Louisiana? 5 o'clock power hours next. Don't move.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers Breitling time, 5 p.m.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
New Orleans City Councilman Freddie King joins us.
So I want to first say thanks for having me. And believe it or not, man, I used to listen to your show all the time driving home. So it's an honor to be on.
Freddie, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the program. Thanks.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
It seems today that all you see is violence in movies and sex on TV.
But where are those good old-fashioned values on which we used to rely?
Hard to not watch 3 to 5 minutes of the Family Guy and not laugh. I land on it every now and then and watch 3 to 5 minutes and I laugh. It's that simple. Pretty creative and funny. Not for everyone, though. Whatever The Simpsons is, Family Guy is times 10. And then whatever the Family Guy is, South Park is times 50. Literally. Family Guy is Simpsons times 10. And South Park is Family Guy times 50. As far as just crazy, insane, insulting. Like, I don't think The Simpsons needs an attorney like full-time on staff. I think Family Guy needs an attorney full-time on staff. I think South Park needs a team of attorneys full-time on staff. Anyway, I watched Blazing Saddles the other night, a few minutes. Literally pulled out my phone, started recording a few little pieces, and we're about to post them on Twitter until I realized, Corey, are you out of your mind? There's no inflection or LOL emoji or sarcasm emoji. You're going to post something from the mid-70s classic, Blazing Saddles, on 2023 politically correct social media, home of the kazoo, where anyone can play, no talent required. Yeah, don't post that. I laughed at myself out loud. I'm by myself. I deleted it and like, you can't post that. No one's going to understand it. What were you meaning? Why did you post it? What's your angle? Where you come from? Just funny. That was the angle. Hysterical. But oh no, my feelings are hurt. That's a group of people you're making fun of. That's a stereotype. Yikes. That's the funny part. Anyway, yeah, you could not have that. I was watching something on YouTube. Norm Macdonald is hysterical. Norm Macdonald on Saturday Night Live doing the news update. Norm Macdonald just dogging O.J. Simpson during that era is hysterical. There's a whole YouTube, like 10, 12 minutes, Norm Macdonald Saturday Night Live jokes that he could not get away with today. And it's true. And just that Norm Macdonald, slow, delivery. I mean, there's one I'm watching the other day. They're like, a teen in Chicago, while attempting to dunk a basketball, chipped his front teeth on the rim of the goal. Was there any chance that teen was white? That was the whole line. A big pause and that line, which I don't know. I guess you can get upset about if you want, or you can laugh at and think it's extremely funny. That's the whole point. I like the two. I don't watch Saturday Night Live, but I'll go on YouTube. What is it? Colin Jost and who's the other guy? It's not like Coy, but it's like that. It's like K-O-I. I forget his name. White guy, black guy. They're hysterical. They bounce off each other great. They say stuff that's like, the white guy will say something that's racist towards black folks. The black guy will say something that's racist towards white folks. And they just bounce off each other really well. God, I'm going blank on the Colin Jost is the white dude. And the black guy is, Shea. Exactly. Michael Shea. Yeah. No, he's a genius. Both of them are great timing, delivery, inflection, facial expression. That, on a 1 to 10 scale, those guys doing that bit, that headline news gimmick, it's like an 11 on a 1 to 10 scale. I don't know what else is on Saturday Night Live. I don't watch Saturday Night Live today. I don't know if any of it's good. It could be great. But I'll catch those guys sometimes, like after the fact on YouTube. It'll be posted somewhere or on social media or some Twitter or something. I'll pull it up and watch, and it's hysterical usually. Anyway, Corey Johnson with you. Wide Open Wednesday. 5 o'clock power hour. on this wide open Wednesday. Brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge. That's right, Baton Rouge. You go to Helm. Do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. Yeah, New Orleans, Helm Paint and Decorating, over 50 years in the Crescent City, now in Baton Rouge. Tiger Town, you got the premier paint store in the land. 4 area locations in Metro Baton Rouge. They got you covered from LSU's campus to Scotlandville and the Bluff, up at Southern. Harding, they got you covered on Choctaw. They got you covered to the west, West Baton Rouge, Bruley, Port Allen. They got you covered towards the east, Prairieville, Gonzales. Free 2-hour delivery in New Orleans, free 2-hour delivery in Metro Baton Rouge. 7 locations in New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, Mandeville, Hammond. 4 area locations in Baton Rouge. Helm Paint and Decorating. They'll steer you in the right direction. Now in the capital city. Yeah, you're right. BR, when it comes to paint, Helm Paint and Decorating, that's all you need to know. The pros have invaded Tiger Town. Yeah, you right. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Louisiana now has the 2 highest ranking members in Congress. Representative Mike Johnson from North Louisiana officially voted in 220 votes. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Steve Scalise, remains majority leader. They've got 1 and 2 Republicans in America from Louisiana. Jeff Landry, in about 8 weeks, 9 weeks, January, will become governor of Louisiana. Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth, right? Republicans are in full control. Hardcore right, not moderate Republicans. This isn't Kasich or Liz Cheney types, reasonable, commonsensical. These are hardcore, extreme, evangelical Republicans like the Crazy Eight, Clay Higgins, that kind of thinking. That's what Louisiana's getting. I mean, Jeff Landry's hardcore. Mike Johnson is much more hardcore than Steve Scalise, who's pretty hardcore right. None of these Republicans would be considered moderate. I mean, Bill Cassidy is about as moderate, as middle-of-the-road Republican as Louisiana's got. So all I can say is a lot of you folks have been talking the talk. You dog rhinos, you dog independents, of course you dog Democrats and liberals. You have full-blown control. I'm assuming the economy, college graduates flocking to Louisiana, we're going to see that over the next 18 months, 2 years. That's starting to happen where it's noticeable, where we're mirroring Texas, Florida, and Georgia when it comes to our economy. Am I misreading this? Is there something I'm missing? Because I'll tell you what, Republicans I talk to, they're happy they got control of in D.C. They're happy they're in control in Louisiana. But they're not hopeful or optimistic like, wow, Louisiana's going to become Georgia or Florida or Texas or even start going in that direction. Not optimistic at all. Talking to my Republican friends, and some are pretty hardcore. They're basically saying, man, it doesn't really matter Republican or Democrat. It's Louisiana. It's broken and no one can fix it. Just better to have my people there. That's sort of the thinking. If that's the thinking, that's a lot of talk and not a lot of walk. The conservative Republicans that I'm always in touch with, that are getting in touch with me all the time, ready to praise me when I'm saying something they like, ready to dog me when I'm saying something they don't like, you guys have full control. You got Mike Johnson from North Louisiana. He is the Speaker of the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. Steve Scalise is still majority leader. You arguably have the number 1 and 2 Republicans elected in America, both from Louisiana. You have Jeff Landry as governor. I'm expecting some dramatic improvement in Louisiana, right? At least noticeable, the needle moving in the right direction, right? 766-9480. Wide open Wednesday, 766 9480. Hey, Fausto's Italian Bistro just opened 15 minutes ago. I was there, outdoor dining Monday night, outside. You can dine outside tonight. The weather will be nice. Outdoor dining or sit inside. Check out some sports action on the TV at the bar or dine in the restaurant. Fausto's Italian Bistro, some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian, open till 9 p.m. tonight. Convenient, easy, great service, park right in front. Tough to beat at Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Hey, every day this program on radio, television, live streaming via our website, CareTalks.com. You can email us, Corey at CoreyTalks.com. Corey spelled Kaare, Kaare, Corey at CoreyTalks.com. Hey, we're on YouTube right now. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't cost nothing. You television viewers watching on Cox Channel 4 statewide, you television viewers watching on Spectrum Channel 333 statewide, the first 90 minutes of the 2-hour talk radio program simulcast on television. So at 5:30 or in about 9 minutes, we'll be done with the TV part of the program. But that doesn't mean you can't check out the last 30 minutes of the show via YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube, live every day. And after the fact, YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. Yeah, you right. Lots of ways to check out the Neutral Ground on this wide open Wednesday. All of it's brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex every day. The Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner, the big store, Lamarck Ford, 45 plus years. Number one Ford dealership in the region for a reason. Inventory, price, service. Need I say more? Lamarck Lincoln, number one Lincoln dealership in the state already. Number one. It's Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park. There is no number two. Number one all the time. Now you got Ronnie Jr. involved big time. Basically, Ronnie and his son co-running that whole operation, and that operation continues to grow. Even after the 50-plus million poured into the big store, the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner on the car corner of Williams and I-10, right on the corner, right in the price, even after 50-plus million invested in that facility, all brand new, all state-of-the-art, Ronnie and Ronnie Jr. scoop up Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, the legendary Ford truck dealership. Yeah, it's now Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Crescent City Ford under the Lamarck umbrella. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, out by the lake. And now out by the river in the parish, Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway in Elmwood. Bridging the gap. Typical Ronnie Lamarck, and now Ronnie Jr. heavily involved. Wide open Wednesday edition. Thanks for joining us every afternoon. We do it from 4 to 6 weekdays. Telling it like it is. Louisiana now has the 2 highest ranking members in Congress. Rep. Mike Johnson from North Louisiana. Not just nominated by Republicans, 4th time's a charm. He is officially Speaker of the House of Representatives, a Louisiana guy. Hardcore right-winger Mike Johnson, more right-wing than Steve Scalise. Steve Scalise remains majority leader. You got the 2 highest ranking members in Congress from Louisiana. The needle has to move, right? And then you've got Jeff Landry coming in as governor. The 105 House reps, clear majority. Republican, 70-something out of 105. 39 senators, what is it? 27 now out of 39? 28 out of 39 senators are Republican? I mean, Republicans in full control of Louisiana. State level, D.C. level, it's all red, it's all Republican. Shouldn't there be expectations of Louisiana within 18 months, 2 years from now, we'll sit back and go, wow, the needle is moving. Significant change. We're doing things like Texas, Georgia, and Florida, and it's showing with our economy, with young college graduates from around the region, around the country, moving to Louisiana, retirees moving to Louisiana. Our economy is about to take off. Young college graduates moving here. Fortune 500 companies bringing hundreds of jobs, even thousands of jobs with one facility, with one manufacturing plant, with one entity in Louisiana. Hundreds, if not thousands of jobs. We're on the brink of that, right? That's been the talk for a long time. Republicans, Democrats, give us control. Watch what happens. Republicans have full control. Why is there skepticism amongst Republicans I talk to? Yeah, they're happy they're in control in Baton Rouge. They're happy they're in control in D.C. But they don't think the needle's going to move here in Louisiana one bit. Like, stuck. They'd rather their people in control, but the needle won't move. Doesn't matter that Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. Doesn't matter that Steve Scalise is majority leader. Doesn't matter that Jeff Landry is governor. Doesn't matter that the House and Senate in Baton Rouge controlled by Republicans fully. Doesn't matter. Why aren't Republicans optimistic, hopeful that Louisiana is going to finally turn the corner and start acting economy-wise like Texas, Georgia, and Florida, Tennessee even? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, before 6 o'clock, I'm going to answer these two trivia questions. Taking them off the board. I got two $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates available. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. No search engines, no internet device. You either know the answer or you don't. I asked you New Orleans' tallest building. I got a correct answer last week. One Shell Square, Hancock Whitney. I also asked New Orleans high-rise building with the most floors, the most stories. Maybe it's the same answer. Hint, hint. One Shell Square, Hancock Whitney. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's another building. New Orleans high-rise with the most floors, the most stories. Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate, 766-9480. The 504 multi-level driving range, construction has resumed. Top Golf multi-level driving range, about to break ground. One of them will open first. Whichever one opens first, will that be New Orleans' first multi-level driving range? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. You got answers? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse locations. You can find out more about the city's premier day spa, woodhousespas.com, woodhousespas.com. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. On this wide open Wednesday. Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth, like obvious needle moving in the right direction. Republican governor coming online in January. Baton Rouge House and Senate, Republican controlled. Louisiana now officially has the 2 highest ranking members in Congress. Representative Mike Johnson, North Louisiana, officially voted in. Speaker of the House of Representatives in D.C. Steve Scalise of Metro New Orleans, continues as majority leader. Republicans, hardcore extreme Republicans, evangelical types. You got everything you want. Control of the state, control of D.C. Louisiana's locked and loaded. Hardcore right, hardcore red. Why is there still skepticism, lack of hope amongst Republicans living in Louisiana that Louisiana's going to turn the corner, start mirroring Texas, Georgia, Florida, at least when it comes to economy, growth, young college graduates moving here for opportunity? Aren't we on the brink of that? Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. Why are Republicans even skeptical? Hey, TV audience, mañana, 4 p.m. We seamlessly continue on radio. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM, CareTalks.com, YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. We seamlessly continue until 6 p.m. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. Go to their website, latrim.com, for a full listing of positions available. Dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs available. A career for you at Latrim. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com. Bayou Phoenix was at the water park convention, some kind of national water park convention, and at Hall B at the convention center. I went down there. I watched Troy Henry sign that lease, the former Six Flags site, to develop this $500 million plus Bayou Phoenix project. I think it's going to take years to come to fruition. Oliver Thomas was there, Eugene Green, Jeff Schwartz, the city's economic development guy. That's sort of oxymoronic. New Orleans, economic development. Anyway, optimistic, hopeful that something happens at that Six Flags site in the East. I don't know, if I were mayor or a city council person, I wouldn't have just sort of, well, you drive by the I-10, you see that the, Lowe's site is empty. Plaza, a lot of land there. You go by the I-10, I-510, you see the Six Flags abandoned. You know, the Four Seasons, the old World Trade Center site? The guy behind that site was in New Orleans as a tourist visiting. He was leaving the casino, saw the World Trade Center building just sitting there blighted. That got him going, boy, that would make a great Four Seasons residence and hotel, like what we do. That would be a great building to do that. On the river, I like this old iconic building. If that guy wasn't like visiting, there might not be a Four Seasons right there. And who knows if the other folks would have had their you-know-what together to build what they proposed. You remember it took like 20 years. You remember Mark Morial administration? You had like friends putting up $50,000, getting guaranteed $250 in return. It was a joke. It was a joke. I mean, anyone that was developing that building, it was like, hey, have about $10 million put aside for all Mark Morial's pals. They're investors. You got to triple, quadruple their money overnight. It was a joke. Nothing with Mitch Landrieu. Well, I shouldn't say that. Mitch Landrieu got the Four Seasons going, but not until the end, like the end of his 8 years. Nothing with Ray Nagin. It was a joke. All of them announcing things, all of them not happening. So, I mean, luckily, this Four Seasons guy sees the building and wants to do something. We got lucky. The city didn't do a damn thing to market the old Plaza site, the old Lowe's, and especially the old Six Flags site. Just sort of, hey, y'all, they're available. And I'm not knocking Troy Henry, but that's why we got Bayou Phoenix and Troy Henry winning this Six Flags site lottery, if you want to call it that. And what's even more comical, I mean, this is like peeing your pants funny. Drew Brees and DeMario Davis, they were runner-ups. You know, I'm thinking like Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's won it, and Flying J Truck Stop was runner-up. Buc-ee's won it, and, so-and-so Water Park was runner-up. Something like that. Could you imagine if city officials would have got in front of decision makers, ideally had a proposal, spent some money with a marketing firm, and the people they're visiting have it already lined up, like watch what could be, like sitting in front of Bass Pro Shop Cabela folks and saying this Six Flags site, you're not calling it the former Six Flags site, you're calling it the Sportsman's Paradise site, not redevelopment, the development of the Sportsman's Paradise site. No negatives. Hey, Bass Pro Shops, you don't have to build a little man-made lake to launch boats and test boats next to your store. In 15 minutes, fresh, brackish salt water right out your back door. Real marsh, real wetlands, real boat testing. I mean, sky's the limit. Hunting and fishing camps, hotel. I mean, I'm thinking about like the biggest Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, like the flagship in Missouri, it's 500,000 square feet. The Pyramid in Memphis, 500,000 square feet. Most are like a big box store size, 180 to 250,000 square feet, like a big Lowe's, Walmart, Superstore, Home Depot type thing. Like the Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops outside of Metro Baton Rouge. You propose something, you tell them what it's about. Hey, you have these little marks like, gunsmith, shooting range, bow and archery, like different things, different Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's offers. Some only offer some of these things. This one would offer every single thing, and some you haven't thought of. Just figure out what they do. I mean, listen to me. I don't hunt or fish. I don't go to Bass Pro Shop and Cabela. Seems like I know a pretty good amount about them. Just a little bit of research. Just a little bit of info on them. No, and you approach them. If it's a kiosk at an airport, going to their headquarters in Missouri, you get in front of the decision makers and you tell them, I mean, my God, you're I-510 going down to Chalmette. It's hunting and fishing capital of the world. You try to sell them on that. You go to someone like IKEA and you try to sell them on the Lowe's site or the Build Your Own at the Plaza site. You try to sell them on New Orleans East. These are things that are game changers for New Orleans East, where you have people outside of people that live in New Orleans East. You have those people too. They get to enjoy those things right in their backyard. But you would actually have people that would never admit it, but they would come. They'd come from Metairie. They'd come from Kenner. They'd come from Houma Thibodeau. They'd come from the North Shore. Folks would come from far away to come to the biggest Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's in the whole chain, with hotels and hunting and fishing right minutes away, book a hunting camp minutes away. Sky's the limit on what they could have done. And that would lure in people that would never, ever otherwise go to New Orleans East. And an IKEA furniture store at the old Plaza site, you'd have people from southern Mississippi, from Jackson, Mississippi, from Lafayette, Baton Rouge, coming in to go to that IKEA. And of course, Metairie, Kenner, North Shore, flocking to the IKEA. But there's the Lowe's is going to be a Salvation Army store. So that's not going to do tens of millions of dollars in business like an IKEA, maybe north of 100 million. They're going to do a few $1,000,000 for the year. It's not going to be some big economic boon for New Orleans East. And Bayou Phoenix is going to be a slow, long process that's going to take years and years and years before any kid swinging a baseball bat out there. 3, 4, 5 years minimum. And it's just going to be piecemeal, kind of on the fly. No, these aren't game changers, dramatic game changers for New Orleans East. New Orleans East deserves so much better. Those folks have just been sold out, ignored for 30 years now. 30 years. The Causeway tolls go up next week. I had Carlton Dufrechou on the show in the 4:00 hour. Next Thursday, the cash tolls go from $5 to $6, and the toll tags go from $3 to $3.40. I have a toll tag, and no, I don't live on the North Shore. Anyone can get one. I think you can call the office or go online. They will mail you the toll tag. I pulled over. You can do it in Metairie at the foot of the Causeway or on the North Shore. I was leaving Trey Yen one day. I had my $5. I was about to go through. I'm like, why do I keep spending $5? I'm over here on the North Shore like once a week, and I'm hitting Trey Yen a lot when I do it. And I'm paying $5. Why don't you pay $3? Pull over, Corey. You got time. Within 5 minutes, I had a toll tag on my car. And I'm paying $3. I save $2 every trip. If I'm going once a week, that's 50 times a year. That's $100 I saved just by getting that toll tag. Just me living on the South Shore, $100, real money. Now it's $5 to $6 cash, and toll tags going from $3 to $3.40. So I'm going to not save $2 every time. I'm going to save $2.60 every time. Anyway, I would get a toll tag. The toll going up on the Causeway next Thursday. And yeah, I had Carlton Dufrechou on to talk about that, but most of it talking about the fog and the I-55 wreck. 8 dead, 63 injured, 168 vehicles involved. 8 dead, 63 injured, 168 vehicles involved. Hey, the Pelicans open up the regular season tonight. Yeah, you right. Game 1 of 82. The Pelicans are in Memphis. Boy, at least you can rattle off some things about Memphis. Go get some barbecue. Go listen to some blues. Go to Germantown. Go to Mud Island. Go watch the Ducks at the hotel. Go to the Bass Pro Shop at the Pyramid. Go to Beale Street. I'm not recommending any of that, but at least you can say those things. Some cities, it's hard to come up with anything. Pelicans at Memphis, about 5-6 hours up the I-55. Saturday night, the home opener at the Smoothie King Center. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff or tip-off, 6 o'clock tip-off Saturday night. The New York Knicks are in town. And then Monday night, a 7 o'clock tip-off at the Smoothie King Center. Golden State, Chris Paul with Golden State. CP3 and company, Curry and the crew invading the blender. So at Memphis tonight, game 1 of 82. Saturday night, the home opener against the Knicks. Monday night, Golden State at the Smoothie King Center. Yeah, you're right. I love that we have NBA basketball. Just as a sports fan, I mean, when I think of the biggest upsets in Louisiana history, New Orleans history, let's say, Battle of, Chalmette, War of 1812, Battle of New Orleans. That's number 1. Number 2, Joseph Gow beating 9-time incumbent Bill Jefferson. Amazing. What a glorious day that was. And number 3, landing the then Charlotte Hornets of the NBA in New Orleans. Just a huge upset. Mark Morial stepped aside, thank God, like he did when the consent decree was in place. The feds were like, you're hiring Richard Pennington. Okay, feds paid for the consent decree back then. Mark Morial at least knew when to get out the way sometimes. Got out the way then, got out the way, let the business community lead, and they got the Pels, the then Hornets. 20 years now of NBA basketball in the city. 20 seasons after 5 of the Jazz. So no, being an NBA city again is huge. Kind of punching above our weight. Major pro sports teams, can we do more than one? I'd say, yeah, more than one. But I don't know if it's 2. It's probably like 1.6, 1.4, something like that. So really had to come together as a community, business community especially, and keep the Pels here. No, but it's great having NBA and NFL, especially when so many other cities are kicking our butt and taking names like Nashville, about to build a new NFL stadium. They might get a major league team. They've got NHL. They've got Major League Soccer. Austin, Major League Soccer. They're just waiting to get a pro team. Austin's like, we used to be, Texas is our pro team. UT, not anymore. No, thank God we've got NBA to go with NFL. Thank God. Pels open up the season tonight at 7 at Memphis. Hey, New Orleans, best quality, best price, best selection, Rouse's Markets. I'll talk about Rouse's during Mardi Gras. King cakes. No one sells more king cakes than Rouse's. I talk about Rouse's during crawfish season. No one on planet Earth sells more boiled crawfish ready to eat, hot from the pot than Rouse's. No one sells more live, ready for you to boil live in the sack crawfish than Rouse's. And when it comes to wine, liquor, beer, in this area, this region of the country, Metro New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, taking over southern Mississippi, Mobile, southern Alabama. No one sells more beer, liquor, and alcohol than Rouse's Markets. When you're buying that amount, that quantity, buying power, you get to give us, the buyer, lower prices. Yeah, when you're thinking about wine, alcohol, and beer, think Rouse's Markets. Best quality, best price, best selection. Tastes like home, Rouse's Markets.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Did you have any problem with Angel Reese? There was a photo of her coming off the bus, holding the phone with the...
And that was a bunch of bull. That was Photoshop, that young lady. That's social media for you. How dare somebody do that?
No, I was wondering if it was Photoshopped or if it was real.
You just got the real answer from somebody who was there.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us to you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. you've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Hi, everyone. It's Tommy Wrong for AsbestosMoneyGrab.com. This is not, I repeat, not for folks with real asbestos problems. But if you're like me and we're maybe taking a shop class in high school where you maybe breathed in some brake dust and you know for certain you're fine, but you're the type of person that takes advantage of these types of situations, get tested, lawyer up, and steal some money like me. Go to I'm not really hurt at all, but like exploiting the system for free cash.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? Why aren't you at Katie's in Mid-City? Got a World Series coming up. 7-game series. Check out all that World Series baseball action at Katie's on the big screen. Pelicans tonight, Katie's in Mid-City. Are you kidding me? Tulane, LSU, Katie's, all your college football. Katie's on a Saturday. NFL action, you guessed it. Katie's, so much better than a sports bar. The big flat screen TVs everywhere like a sports bar, but unlike a sports bar, it's Katie's. Real food, a taste of New Orleans, big portions, perfect for sharing. A taste of the Crescent City, Katie's in Mid-City. A great place to check out sports action. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? Corey Johnson with you. Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth. Economy taking off, college graduates moving here. The needle has to move within the next 18 months or so, right? Jeff Landry will be governor of the state. The 105 House reps, the 39 senators, the vast majority of both. What is it? 70-something House reps out of 105, 27, 28 senators out of 39 Republican. Louisiana now has the 2 highest ranking members in Congress in D.C. North Louisiana's Mike Johnson, 220 votes. He is officially Speaker of the House of Representatives. Louisiana's own Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. Steve Scalise remains Majority Leader. These are the number 1 and 2 most powerful elected Republicans in the land right now. The 2 highest ranking members in Congress. Jeff Landry coming in as governor. All Republican in Louisiana and not moderate, kind of Bill Cassidy types. The folks in control and their constituents think of Bill Cassidy, Liz Cheney, Kasich, Sununu, as rhinos, Republican in name only. So this is the hardcore right. Mike Johnson is more hardcore than Steve Scalise, and Steve Scalise is pretty damn hardcore evangelical right. But it wasn't enough. So Mike Johnson's even more extreme, like Jeff Landry. So Republicans, everything you've talked about, everything you've dreamed of, everything you wanted, you got it. You're in full-blown control. You're controlling the company now. Are you turning around the ship? Is the company all of a sudden going to be successful? Is Louisiana going from we manufacture Hugos to we manufacture Ford F-150s or Toyota or Mercedes or something like that? Are we changing gears? Is Louisiana going to change for the better? Are we going to mirror Texas and Georgia and Florida, at least when it comes to the economy? Or is it just going to be stuff that doesn't really affect the economy, like gay rights or what books can be read by kids and stuff like that? I know it's going to be stuff like that. Religion injected in, all of that. But will we at least reap the benefits like Texas, Georgia, and Florida do economically? College graduates moving there, lots of opportunity. Louisiana must be on the brink of explosive growth because Republicans are in full control in Baton Rouge, in D.C. Louisiana is as red as it gets. We should see some dramatic positive results from this, right? Right? We definitely have faded out of summer, but it's still hot. I'm running air conditioning right now at my house. Air conditioning, heat, whatever your needs are. If you need air conditioning or heat help, River City's Total Maintenance is there. I'm going to make it real easy for you. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. 841-3300. All you need to remember, if you ever need heat or air conditioning help, NOLAAC.com. All you need to remember, NOLAAC.com.
Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
I was over at Young's, their main facility, where they do restoration for your carpets or runners, not carpets, rugs, runners, drapes, fine linens. Their restoration department's great. They'll get it in like new condition again. I had a little hall runner. Now, I could take advantage of Young's free pickup and delivery. Dale's always like, dude, why don't I just deliver it? I'm like, Dale, save that for your regular customers. I'll come over and get it. So I went over there and picked up, and I happen to have about 15 shirts that I was going to drop off on Claiborne. I just handed them to Dale. Dale's like, you can't go to Claiborne? I was like, you'll take care of it. They're a New Orleans institution, the best dry cleaner. YoungsDryCleaning.com. Go to their website. Find out more. Tired of your dry cleaner? Want to experience the best? YoungsDryCleaning.com. What's that, Blue Boy? Tomorrow's already Thursday. But I need to hustle home because you're hungry, you want your kibble, and you want to go for a walk before it gets dark. Good call. See you mañana, straight up 4 o'clock. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine